Billions in gold trades collapse every single year, and here's the shocking part. In many cases, the gold is real. The problem is the paperwork. Forged SKRs, cleverly recycled bullion photos, and fake vault documents have become the scammers' toolkit in 2025. They're targeting everyone, from first-time buyers to veteran traders with decades of experience. In this video, I'm going to break down exactly how these fake paper trails are created, why they're harder than ever to detect, and the early warning signs you can use to protect yourself. I'll share real examples of scams that looked perfect on paper and the simple checks that could have stopped them. But the complete step-by-step SKR verification process we use inside our network, the one that's kept us at zero losses for 3 years, is something I can only share inside our gated video on tradeskr.com. Let's start with why this problem is exploding right now. First, global gold demand has surged. Central banks have been buying at record levels, and private investors are rushing in as a hedge against inflation and geopolitical instability. That's created an environment where deals are moving fast too fast. When buyers feel pressured to act quickly, scammers thrive. Second, more trades are being pushed offshore. While the gold itself might be stored in a recognized vault, the actual deal paperwork is being handled in jurisdictions with weak enforcement and poor document verification systems. That makes it easy for forgers to slip fake SKRs into the market. Third, digital tools have made forgery almost effortless. A skilled scammer can take a legitimate SKR template, swap out the details, and create a perfect document in under an hour. Add a convincing signature and a scanned vault photo, and most buyers can't tell the difference without direct bank confirmation. Now, let's look at the anatomy of a fake SKR deal. It often begins with an unsolicited introduction, maybe through a contact in your network, or a cold email offering you a special opportunity. The offer always sounds urgent. They'll tell you a large quantity of bullion is available, but only if you move quickly. To prove they're serious, they'll send over a copy of the SKR. At first glance, everything looks legitimate. Well-known bank name, familiar vault brand, professional formatting. The next step in the scam is visual reinforcement. They'll provide vault photos, rows of neatly stacked gold bars with serial numbers visible. These photos may even be geotagged to the correct vault location. But here's the trick. Those bars might be part of someone else's storage, not the seller's. In some cases, the same exact photo has been sent to buyers on 3 different continents in the same week. Sometimes they'll go even further. I've seen scams where buyers were allowed into a vault to see the gold in person. You walk in, you see the bars, you check the numbers, and you think, this is real. But the gold isn't for sale. It's there, yes, but it belongs to a third party, and the seller has no legal right to transfer it to you. Now, let's talk about the mistakes buyers make that allow these scams to succeed. Mistake number 1, accepting a digital SKR at face value. A scanned document, no matter how real it looks, is worthless until it's confirmed directly with the issuing bank or vault. Mistake number 2, relying on the seller's version of the truth. If you're taking their documents, their contacts, and their process as fact, you're letting them control the narrative. Mistake number 3, moving the deal into untraceable channels. The moment you switch to personal messaging apps or private email, you lose accountability. And mistake number 4, misunderstanding escrow. If the escrow agreement doesn't clearly define control of both the gold and the funds, it offers no actual protection. Here's a real case study. In 2024, a European buyer was offered 500 kilograms of gold at a slight discount to market. The SKR was immaculate. The vault photo matched. The seller even provided a scanned insurance policy from the vault. But when the buyer insisted on an independent inspector, the seller stalled. A week later, the buyer discovered the SKR number had been used in a different transaction months earlier. The gold had never been available for sale. That one extra check saved them $30 million. Another example. A buyer in the Middle East received a SKR and proof of product video showing gold bars being weighed. Everything matched. They moved forward and sent a partial deposit to secure the lot. The seller disappeared. Later, the buyer learned the video had been filmed years earlier for a completely different deal. So how do you actually protect yourself? First, you need to slow the process down. Scammers rely on urgency. If they tell you the deal will disappear in 24 hours, that's your first red flag. Second, you must confirm every document directly with the issuing party. That means the vault, the bank, or the insurer. Not through the seller, not through an intermediary. Third, demand physical inspection by a trusted, neutral third party before any funds move. Let's get into seller profiles, because recognizing who you're dealing with is just as important as verifying the documents. The first profile is the connector. They claim they have direct access to the seller, but are vague about their role. These people often have no control over the product and are just fishing for a commission. The second is the insider. They appear to have inside knowledge of a vault or a bank and may even use legitimate contacts to lend credibility. The third is the storyteller. They have an elaborate backstory about how the gold came into their possession, often involving inheritance, government contracts, or mining operations. The story is always compelling, but impossible to verify. You should also understand how SKRs have evolved. In the past, SKRs were simple documents, a bank confirming that gold was stored on behalf of a client. Today, they're far more complex, including detailed serials, storage terms, and sometimes photos. This added complexity should make them harder to fake, but it also gives scammers more details to manipulate. Here's the thing. In a legitimate SKR trade, the paperwork is the last step, not the first. Real deals begin with relationship building, direct verification between banks, and escrow structuring. If someone is leading with documents instead of process, they're selling you an image, not a transaction. One of the biggest misconceptions is that an SKR itself has value. It doesn't. An SKR is just a statement from a custodian. Its value comes from the legal ability to transfer ownership of the gold it references. Without that, the SKR is just a piece of paper or a PDF file on your screen. Another dangerous belief is that escrow alone will protect you. It won't, unless it's structured correctly. A real escrow agreement in gold trading specifies the exact lot numbers, storage conditions, inspection procedures, and release triggers. Anything less is a loophole waiting to be exploited. You might be wondering, if the risks are this high, why trade gold at all? The answer is that when done right, physical gold deals can be among the safest and most profitable commodity transactions in the world. But only if you follow the correct process from start to finish. And that process, the real SKR verification flow we use, is not something we put on YouTube. There's a reason for that. The more scammers know about how we detect them, the better they get at hiding it. That's why I only share the exact step-by-step method, along with our templates and deal closing checklists, inside our gated video on tradeskr.com. In that insider session, I walk through the full 7-step sequence, from silent background checks to final bank-to-bank confirmation. I show you the exact wording we use in escrow agreements, the real vault confirmation formats, and how we set traps that scammers can't avoid triggering. It's the same process our network uses to execute millions of dollars in SKR trades every year, with zero losses. So here's my advice. If you've ever been offered a gold SKR deal, or you're considering one in the future, make sure you understand the difference between a document and a transaction. Paper trails can be faked. Real bullion, stored under proper custody, verified by both banks and independent inspectors, can't be. The fake paper trails and gold trading aren't going away anytime soon. But you can put yourself in the top 1% of buyers who never fall for them simply by applying the right checks, slowing the process down, and refusing to cut corners. If you want the complete insider breakdown, the same process that has protected every gold trade in our network for the past 3 years, watch the gated video now on tradeskr.com. The link is in the description. In that video, you'll see every step in detail, so you can replicate it in your own deals and avoid the traps that have cost others millions. Trade smart, trade verified, and I'll see you inside.